Welcome back, it's Chris from the Hagon factory. Well, you can see that winter's settled in, plenty of rain, it's really cold at the moment, which is slowing progress down a bit because I don't feel like being out in the shed in the cold after working in the cold all day. So we're doing a bit on weekends, not as much at night, hardly any at night actually, but things will change and we'll keep moving forward. Today we'll show you a bit of footage of the 350 Velo, and I've got some footage of the engine stand that I made for the 500 Triumph GP racer. Made a stand up so the old man can work on the engine, which will help us both out, and let's get on with it.
Okay, this is Ian McLeod's new gearbox shell that I've cleaned up. I've put the big bearing back in the front here, the big main bearing, which I put the old one back because it's a Hoffman one with a brass cage, and I've never ever seen one of those worn out, to be honest. I've put them back a lot of the times and they never give any trouble.
Fantastic.
The Hoffman bearings, if you can get them, there's still a few old stockers around, but yeah, they're quite rare now, but they were the best bearings you could get. I've inspected a few of the other bits and pieces here. The drive dog on there, it's a bit worn, but once again, I've never seen a Velo gearbox jump out of gear either, so you could probably use that, but I have got a better one, so yeah, I won't use it. This is one of the engaging arrangements for the gear selector, for the cam selector. That looks really good, looks in good condition. And here's the little pawl that drags the cam plate around.
Yeah, excellent.
It looks quite good too.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit round on the end, but I've got other ones there I'll have a look at. But yeah, I think that'll be all right.
And it was packed with grease too, wasn't it?
Was packed with grease.
So it wasn't running oil like they normally do, but some old bikes did run grease, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the drive dogs in these gears are quite good.
Excellent.
That one slots right in there like so, and it seems to be fine. It doesn't seem to give any trouble at all. Yeah, so somebody's put this together back to front ages ago, but
yeah, okay.
But even the bushes in there are not too bad, and the selectors, you've got to have a good look at these. They're brass or bronze or something, brass probably, and if they get a fair bit of abuse, they can bend.
Yeah, okay.
And if they bend, it really upsets the gear change.
Yeah,
and these little pins in here, they're the ones that run in the cam plate. They have been known to move back because they're only put in and then punched to hold them. So you always got to make sure that they're good and they've got no flat spots on them, which that one hasn't. And we've got the other one here. It also looks quite good actually.
Yeah, it all looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a good clean up and a good... when you're putting one of these gearboxes together, another point is you need to make sure there's no burrs on anything. You need to polish all these edges off, everything. Make sure there's no burrs because it'll upset everything.
Yeah.
It'll hook up between gears and things like that.
Any gearbox.
Yeah, yep.
And he won't know himself once the thing's back together.
He won't. No.
One of those main shafts was a bit worn too.
Well, that's the one with the thread on it that's no good.
Right.
But I've got a whole set of other stuff that I've cleaned up, which is over here. These will be all the bits we'll be using. Everything there is quite good. All the dogs are good in there.
Yeah.
They'll all be good. They'll be okay. Yep, everything in there we'll probably use, except we'll buy a new roller thrust for it. This bearing, this bush in there is excellent. There's no movement in that at all. What's the other one? That one, this one. I think there's a little bit in this. We might have to. Yeah, there's a bit in that one, so I'll re-bush that one.
Yeah, right.
See, there's a bit of movement there.
Yep.
I'll re-bush that one, but they do need a little bit of clearance. These, you can't have them too good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the biggest issue that you found?
With the gear,
or is it just a bit of everything?
Look, there's little bits of everything. This is the cam plate out of it. You know, it's pretty badly rusted and battered, and and so on. And that's where this little fella hooks it in. No, not that one. Yes, that one. Hooks in there and pulls that around, like so.
Yep.
So that's all got to be nice, and that one's not badly worn, even though the thing's rusty. But the one I'll put in there is another one, another very clean one that's in. I'll pop it out and show you. You can see the difference.
Ah, yeah. Yep.
You know. Another little trick with these too, that piece comes out of the centre, and to coordinate it so that it selects all the gears, it's got an arrow on it.
Okay.
But up in there it's very faint, you can barely see it. There's another arrow.
Oh yeah, you can, yeah.
There's another arrow. You just got to line those two arrows up, and then instead of having a 3-speed box, you'll have a 4-speed box or whatever.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep. So yeah, all's going pretty well with this.
It'll be wrapped. Now, have you received an email from Wes?
Yes, I have. I have, and I've answered him.
Ah, fantastic. So I said we'd get back to you, Wes, so hopefully that helped you out.
Yeah, I have gotten back to him.
Feel free to get back to us, mate.
Yeah, let us know how you go.
Yep.
Okay, so that's all good. These are the rods that the selectors slide on. These selectors here slide on the rods like so. They're quite good. There's no real wear there. Yeah. So, and another trap with these too. Sometimes people alter these, which they shouldn't.
Just the length, is it?
Yeah. See how they're both the same length?
Yes.
Well, they shouldn't be.
Okay.
One should be a little bit longer than the other.
Right.
So that's a little trap you can get caught into. And if you put the long one in the wrong spot, which is in the top hole there, if you put the long one in there, and you tap it right in, it knocks the pivot for the frying pan out of whack.
And that's probably why they've taken a bit off it.
Yeah.
Because they
put the wrong one in. Yeah. They put the wrong one in, so they chopped a bit off it. But we have other ones here, so we'll make sure that the right one's in.
Excellent.
There's another little trick with those gearboxes that can catch you out, as you can knock the pivot out for the frying pan. So,
fantastic. But
no, this is going to be all right. This will finish up being a good gearbox. I've got a new quality bearing to put in the back there.
Yes.
Yeah, and that bearing's usually not too bad.
It's the absolute hardest thing in history, I think, getting motivated on a cold day, but let's keep at it. Right, as you can see, the Triumph engine stand is only made out of a bit of scrap rubbish that we could find. It's a real quick build, like a half-hour build, but it's going to do the job, so don't pick on the welds too much, or it's not square or whatever. I know it's not, but it'll do the job, so let's keep at it. So we've just been out chasing a few bits and pieces for the bike, a few nuts and bolts and all that, so you'll see that next time. So, same as every other week, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everyone. There'll be an update on the Triumph soon, on the GP bike. Keep an eye out for that. Thanks.